Hello and welcome back to the MLB DFS Slate Breakdown for Wednesday, May 7th. We're back. We're breaking it down. We have a 7-game slate tonight to go over, and we're going to get into it. But first, I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann. Come join us at LineStar. $39.99 per month gets you access to all we do, the props, the DFS, the best ball, you get it all for one low price. Now, let's dive in. As always, we're going to go over by the perfect lineups first, then jump into the winning lineups on both sites, followed by going over today's slate. Pitchers to consider and stacks to consider. So, DraftKings perfect lineup. We had Chris Sale. We had Pablo Lopez. Both pitchers went absolutely nuts. And then we had a 3-man Phillies stack. Phillies went nuts versus a very good pitcher, but a very hitter-friendly park. And then we had a few one-offs. Austin Wells, unfortunately, hit a grand slam versus my Padres and just went absolutely crazy. Then the winning lineup went to Bake Bomb, who had 203.95. They had Zach Gallen. They had Sale. Then they had a 4-man Minnesota stack and a 4-man Philly stack. So the good old 4-4 won again. It's like the second time within a week that we've seen that happen. So congrats to Bake Bomb. Now, let's check out FanDuel real quick and see what we can uncover over there in the perfect lineup. What we have is probably Chris Sale. Yep, Chris Sale, then a 2-man Phillies, 2-man Twins, some one-offs, and the winner going to Giant Squid. Took home $20K. Congrats to you. They had Pablo Lopez, who went nuts, had 11 Ks in only 5 innings. Then 4-man Philly, 2-man Minnesota, one-off with Hayes and McClain. So congrats to Giant Squid, and let's dive into today's slate, see what we can get over here. So 7-man on DraftKings, or 7-game, 8 on FanDuel. And what do we have for pitchers on DraftKings? Our high owned is Hunter Green, 31% owned. Hunter Green is in a great spot. His strikeout line is like 8.5 or something today. It is extremely high, maybe 7.5. But, I mean, he has that big-time K stuff. 3.28 FIP over the last 20, 3.96 over the last 5, 32% K rate over the last 5, 30.8 over the last 20. The issue with him is his StatCast data is very scary. 48% fly balls, 35% hard contact, and a decent amount of barrel balls. Now, you don't want hard contact and fly balls and barrel balls versus the Braves, as they tend to take advantage of that, all while also being much worse when you are away from home. It's not a good recipe for a high-owned guy, but Hunter Green, nonetheless, is still one of the premier spots in this on this slate. But there's definitely some reason to fade him if you want to. We have met 23.59 point projection. He's right with Max Fried, but Max Fried's another one that, you can definitely fade if you want. Today's pitching is just tough. You bump down Fried's projection and Hunter Green is then, well above everybody else, and he's well above everybody else on the consensus. Does not surprise me at all that Green is that high owned. Max Fried, 9,500. He has been pitching very well lately. 2.75 FIP over his last 5. 3.12 over the last 20. StatCast data looks good. The issue? Padres, pretty good versus lefties. 267 average. 240 ISO. Don't strike out much. And then the BVP data heavily favors the Padres. It has been hard for Fried versus the Padres for 4 seasons now. He got lit up last year against him. The year before was only able to go 5 innings, but hey, no earned runs. The year before that, 4 earned runs and 6. It's been a tough few years for Fried versus the Padres. Does that keep going? in this spot, or can Fried get over on the Padres again today? He is a good enough pitcher to absolutely do it, and he needs to be able to keep the ball down in this small park with winds slightly blowing out, nice temperatures, all that. I don't mind a little Fried, but I also don't mind some leverage in Padres stacks there. Next, we got Grant Holmes, 7,400 versus the Reds. Holmes has shown some real upside lately, going, 7.2 innings, having some strikeout success, and he's much better at home. I don't mind having some Grant Holmes versus this Reds offense. However, the Reds offense can get it done. They can steal bases, score in a lot of different ways. Don't love the spot for Grant Holmes, but don't hate it either. Next, we got Christopher Sanchez, 7,500, 24% owned. Look, I think he is way too cheap, and I'm probably going to have a decent amount of Sanchez. On DraftKings, I would have a ton of him. 3.67 FIP over the last 20, 3.61 over the last 5. K-rate over the last 5, 28%, 22% over the last 20. StatCast data looks good. The team splits versus lefties for the Rays are awful. And 24% combined K-rate at 25%. I think there's a ton of reason to go to Christopher Sanchez. He's only 7,500. We got him at a projection of 19. And that's, not too far off the top guys, but you're paying $2K less for them. So definitely like some Sanchez in this spot. Next, as far as pivots, I think Michael Wacha at 8,200 is interesting versus the White Sox. I mean, against the White Sox, anybody really, but Wacha's been dealing 3.39 FIP over the last 20, 3.4 over the last 5. Limited upside, but at least the White Sox strike out a lot. He can work deep into this game and get it done that way. I don't mind some Wacha. Next, we got Yusei Kikuchi, lefty, versus his old squad in Toronto. Look, he hasn't been great this year. 4.93 FIP over his last 5, but it's a 3.94 FIP over his last 20. 27% K rate over the last 20. That strikeout stuff just has not been there much this year, but I know he has it. He has very quality stuff. And with that upside at 7,600, I'm a little interested in it. Definitely will not go too hard on it, but he's just too low owned at 5% for me. Now, let's get into FanDuel's highest owned pitchers. We got Hunter Green and Christopher Sanchez. Both I'm absolutely willing to go to. I really like Sanchez in this spot. Wacha at 8,300, fine going there. Fried, I'm fine to go down to Fried also, but I won't have a ton of him. And then I think you got to talk about Dylan Cease. He's only 8,500 on FanDuel. We know there's upside with Cease, but his K rate's been down lately, and he hasn't been pitching that well. However, 3.84 FIP is way better than that 6.65 ERA. So he has had some bad luck. That swings in his favor in this spot, and it starts to look interesting. However, he has had some tough times versus New York. 42 plate attempts, 314 average, 143 ISO, 21% K rate. Don't totally love the spot for Cease, but at 8,500, with a guy that can give you 50 and can beat anybody when he's on his game, it's a little bit interesting to me. And it's not that often that you're going to see Cease at 8,500 and struggle for too many games in a row. Lastly, I think we got to talk about Tyler Wiemann in this spot versus the Red Sox. Dude has been dealing 3.55 FIP over his last 20, but a 2.41 over the last 5. Limited strikeout upside, but he's versus this Boston Red Sox team that is striking out 24.7% versus righties. At 8,600, with the ceiling that he has and how boom bust this Boston team has been, I find it pretty interesting to go to Somali here. 22.6% combined K rate. Now, let's get over to FanDuel, DraftKings, look at some stacks here. Now, that Boston-Texas game is the one that is not on DraftKings, so I just want to point out that a little bit as well. Boston does have a total of 5 Mahle versus Mahle, so a little scary to go Tyler Mahle there, but I actually do like the spot. And then Texas 4.5 against Tanner Huck, who has been awful so far this year. I think you do need to consider some Texas stacks. Now, highest owned stacks on DraftKings, we got the Royals and the Tigers. Tigers are in Colorado. Game total of 10 makes total sense to have some of them. Royals versus Jonathan Cannon. Jonathan Cannon, mid-4s FIP, high-4 FIP over the last 20. Royals have started hitting. I'm fine having some Royals. They're cheap. You can do a lot with them. Don't love them being 100% owned. I think that's a bit pricey for them ownership-wise, but I'm fine having a little. Highest projected, Detroit. It's Colorado game. Don't really need to go into that one. Highest value, we got KC and the White Sox. White Sox versus Waka. Don't love the spot, but Waka can get hit a little bit, so don't mind it. Angels versus Barrios is popping up a little bit. Angels have some sticks. They can definitely hit the ball hard. Barrios can get lit up at times. Makes some sense to want to pick on them. Highest ceiling, we got Yankees versus Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease can get got, and the Yankees are definitely wheeling some lumber lately. They did have a 10-run inning yesterday. They got Judge, Ben Rice, a lot of bats to deal with, so I don't mind some Yankee stacks today. Detroit, we talked about. Philadelphia versus Shane Baz. Very warm weather in Tampa, and Baz, FIP before over the last 20, 4.57 over the last 5. He's got hit a little bit. Philadelphia can get it done again. Cincinnati versus Grant Holmes. Grant Holmes has been boom bust. So Cincinnati does make some total sense there. And teams have been running against Atlanta a little bit, which adds some value to Cincinnati. Our highest leverage, we got Atlanta versus Hunter Green. While Hunter Green is excellent, he can give up the long ball, and Atlanta is definitely a team that can hit it. Don't mind a little bit of leverage stacks in ATL. We click the teams tab. Detroit, 5.5. Fine going there. Royals at 5. Twins at 4.7 versus Charlie Morton. Not sure how long of a leash Morton will have because he's been getting absolutely blown up. But I love this spot, and the bullpen behind Morton has been terrible. Fine going with some Twins. Colorado versus Jackson Jobe. Jobe has been solid, but it's Colorado game. I think you got to go for some Colorado, who's going to be much lower owned versus the Tigers, and you get the same hitting environment there. Yankees 4.5, very much in play there. If you want to go all the way down, Padres versus Fried is in play for me. They've been able to get to Fried a little bit, and you got a big hitting upgrade in ballpark with the Padres, which I do think is interesting. Toronto versus Kikuchi, got to consider him. Bullpen behind him is terrible. He's got hit hard lately. Makes a ton of sense to want to go there. And then Baltimore, they're versus a righty, so they're always in contention there. That'll do it for us today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with more. At least I think so. It is a Thursday slate, so sometimes the afternoon slates are a little wonky, but there's a few games. We'll be back. You guys have a good one. Hope all is well. Have some good luck tonight. Let's make some money. Talk to y'all later. Peace.